Why do dismissive avoidants seem like they just don't care? They ghost, they pull away, they act indifferent, and yet sometimes they stay. So, what actually makes a dismissive avoidant fall in love and stay close? Today, we're getting to the real root of what makes them open their heart, let down their walls, and yes, fall in love, even if they don't show it in the way you expect. My name is Luna A. May, and I'm a life and attachment style coach and author of several books on attachment styles. And my mission here is to help you recognize your emotional patterns and build secure, loving relationships that you truly deserve. And by the way, my newest book on avoidant attachment style has come out in July, so I encourage you to check it out. The link is in the description box below. But let's now dive into today's topic. And let's start by clearing up one of the biggest myths. Dismissive avoidants don't lack feelings. They actually feel a lot. But the difference is that they don't express those feelings. And they don't express them not because they are cold or emotionless, but because their nervous system is wired to suppress emotional vulnerability. They are often so used to not being safe to feel, especially coming from childhood, that their instinct is to shut feelings down, not explore them or share them with you. So, yes, they may miss you, they may even love you, but instead of reaching out, they bury those feelings. They push their emotions aside to keep functioning because it's how they've learned to cope. And this coping strategy becomes so automatic that they don't even realize that they are doing it. That's why it can feel like they are detached or indifferent, where underneath they are overwhelmed by what they don't know how to handle. So you often see avoidance escape into distractions that might be scrolling, binge watching, working, or gaming, anything that keeps them from sitting still with themselves. And why is that? It's because when things get quiet, the emotions surface. And that's the one thing they've learned not to face. That's one thing have the problem with. So when you get close, emotionally close, you unknowingly press on the very thing they're trying to avoid, their own feelings. One thing that is often missed is that dismissive avoidants are extremely sensitive to criticism. Even if they don't show it, they feel really deeply. And this is because emotionally they are running on empty. Imagine their emotional bank account is constantly in overdraft. So even mild feedback can feel like an attack to them. And this is especially true if their childhood taught them that having needs or being wrong leads to rejection or shame. Because you have to remember that they have this wound of shame. So they withdraw, not because you did something wrong, but because they don't know how to stay connected when they feel emotionally exposed. Dismissive avoidants also struggle with communication. They want to connect, they want to feel seen and be understood, but expressing themselves, and especially expressing themselves through words, feels really dangerous to them. Not logically, but emotionally, because it brings old imprints like no one really cared when I tried before, or opening up just leads to shame or disappointment. So when they do care about someone, it creates an internal conflict. Their feelings are real. But the moment they try to express them, the fear starts to rush in. They shut down, not because they don't care, but because their system says, this is unsafe. Don't go there. And if this is something you are navigating right now, whether you are dating an avoidant or you are an avoidant yourself and want to feel closer without fear, I'd love to support you through my one-on-one coaching. And inside of our sessions, we don't just talk about patterns. We rewire those patterns. We dive deep into the subconscious blocks and nervous system responses that keep you stuck in this push and pull dynamics. So you'll find the link to book a session with me in the description box below. And now comes the big question. What makes avoidants fall in love? And remember, avoidants don't fall in love because you chase harder. They don't fall in love because you reassure them more or give them more space. They fall in love when they feel safe enough to relax their guard, when the emotional climate around them is steady. And this means not intense and not too overwhelming. They also need consistent acceptance without pressure. This is very important. And they need to believe they won't be shamed or abandoned if they show their real messy inner world, which all means that avoidants fall in love when they can be fully themselves without the expectation to instantly change or perform. But of course, that doesn't mean you should abandon yourself because you don't build safety for an avoidant by walking on eggshells or minimizing your own needs. And in fact, that only reinforces the fear they have that closeness leads to enmeshment. What you should do is stay grounded in your own emotional center. Be warm, be clear, because what makes an avoidant truly safe is seeing that you are safe with yourself, that you are not reacting, that you are not collapsing, that you don't need them to save you or complete you. But of course, sometimes being the person they feel safest with still isn't enough to make them ready. And that's not your fault. It just means that their emotional wounds still run the show. So if you've been trying and you're still hurting, it's okay to stop. Because if you stop in this situation, you're choosing to honor yourself. As you can see, avoidance can fall in love, but it rarely looks like in the movies. It's slow, it's subtle, it's layered with fear and longing at the same time. But it is possible. And now let's come to some questions that my clients ask regarding this subject. So one of the questions is, can I do something to help them open up faster? The answer is that you can create a safe emotional climate, but you can't rush their healing. The more you try to make them open up, the more they will shut down. Another question is, what if they start dating someone else who triggers them less? And of course, that doesn't mean they've healed. It just means they found someone who doesn't challenge their coping strategies. But true love isn't about staying up. It's about growing, even when it's uncomfortable. And the last question that I often get asked is, should I reach out if I know that they care deep down? And what I can tell you is to pause first and ask yourself, are you reaching out to reconnect or to get relief from the discomfort of distance? Reaching out from anxiety won't bring the closeness you want. So think about that and act accordingly. If you found that video helpful, make sure to watch the other video that I've recorded that's called Can Avoidant Truly Fall in Love? Because it goes deeper into their emotional world and what real healing looks like for them. Thanks for being here and see you in the next video.